morning to our next coach. That's the head coach of Kennesaw State Owls, Bohannon. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mark.
Owls with their fourth straight win to move to 4-1 overall, beat conference play Saturday night. We can open up, talk about over Missouri SEC, and we'll start taking questions. Talk about.
Absolutely. Well, we're always excited to win. I don't think we played particularly well, especially offensively Saturday. We were able to put some points up, but we didn't have a lot of energy. I thought we played decent on defense. A couple mistakes here and there that, but really we only gave up 7 points. And so I think, it's like every week for us, you're learning something about your football team, especially a young team. And, when you find a way to win when you don't necessarily play at your best, I think that's a positive. But as we move along into the conference play, and especially Saturday night, we're going to have to play with a lot more energy and play a lot better to have a chance to compete with a team like Liberty.
All right, Coach, this time we'll start taking questions for you. Press star on your phone at any time. Or click the Q&A link near the top of the browser. Quick way you can. While we wait for questions to come in, Coach, talk about the Flames, what you've seen on film so far.
Well, they're awfully talented. They run us way better than anybody we played to date on both sides of the ball. They've played some really good teams. Played Virginia Tech, SMU, Jacksonville State. They played some awfully good football teams early in the season. And they're athletic. They can run. They're breaking in a freshman quarterback, but he's got a lot of good people around him. And he's going to be a good player and is a good player. So it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, we went up there last year and played them. They're an awfully good football team, and we're going to have to be on our game to have a chance to win.
All right, Coach, first question for you. Damian Sportelet of the Lynchburg fan.
Morning, Brian. How are you?
Good morning, Damian.
I want to ask Chandler Burke, what does he bring into this offense, and are you expecting him to get the start Saturday if Trey White is still unable to go?
Yeah, I tell you, Chandler's, since he's taken over after Trey got hurt, the thing he does for the most part is he executes the offense. He distributes the ball where it needs to be distributed. He's been able to throw it. He's been able to get the ball dealt when it needs to be dealt. And when he's on his game, he executes the offense. I think that's really the most important thing we ask those guys to do. So that's been him. He's a winner. He's very smart. He's one of those guys that's going to be in the film room on his own all the time. And that's how he gives himself an edge. So we're very fortunate here. We got Daniel Davis played a lot for us. He's technically the third string quarterback, but has been the second string for the last few weeks. Trey White should be back, possibly available this week. So we could have three quarterbacks that have all won ball games for us, and all been in the heat of the battle, available. And I think that's an awesome thing. Not my whole career coaching have ever been around anything like that. So excited about that.
Yeah, with specifically your two, I guess, new faces, Chandler and Daniel, passing has taken the next step. We've seen that, like you said, they distribute the ball well. They're able to read the option attack, know what's being given to them. Is that something that you look to expand a little bit this year?
Well, it's something we wanted to do from the get-go, and I just, Damian, we're still working through a lot of things here as we get going. But that's something we were going to do from the get-go. But as we were building this thing, you have to do what will give you a chance in the moment. We have some talented, skilled kids here. We want to find ways to get them the ball however we can through the option or through throwing it, whatever we can do, that'll give us a chance to win the game. And that's really kind of how we've approached it. We know to be successful, and I think you just heard Harold Nichols say this, we're going to run the football, but I think to really take that next step, you got to be able to do both, and that's what we're trying to do.
You've played a couple night games here, but what's a night game homecoming, Big South opener? What's that mean for this program? Just for the first for this program in the second year.
Well, I mean, like you said, we opened up at night. I think the atmosphere is going to be awesome. We're going to have a great crowd. Our kids love playing at night. Coaches probably don't like it as much, but our kids love it. Our fans love it. So I think it'll create a little energy. It ought to be a great atmosphere. It ought to be a great ball game, and I know our kids are looking forward to it.
Is that another tool that you have in the recruiting battle in that Atlanta, greater Atlanta area that now bringing prospects in under the light, give them that atmosphere as a selling point?
Oh, absolutely. I think anytime you come to one of our home games, it's a great atmosphere, and I think recruits see that, and I think you're always recruiting, Damon, as you know. I mean, that's a year-round job you're always doing, and we're continuing to make people aware of what's going on with Kennesaw State and Kennesaw State football. So everything we can do to do that is definitely helpful.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Damien.
Coach, I'm going to wrap up with a couple questions. Talk about John Black. He's had a nice, and his level of play in the last games, something to expect, and how obviously you are with his execution in the last.
Well, obviously, anytime we can get turnovers, that's a big deal. We emphasize it every week. Dante's been at the right place at the right time. That's a credit to his work ethic, the way he goes about his business. And I hope that trend will continue for him and for us as we move into conference play. But, no, he's a great kid. He works his tail off. I'm happy for him, and hopefully it'll continue.
Okay, last question. Year two, got aware of all the first last year, but going into the second conference season, just the difference that you as a coach, team's approach, if any different from last year.
I think the big thing is we played a schedule. We played everybody in the league. Our kids know a little more what to expect, just not only playing in the league, but just the day-to-day and the week-to-week, of what goes on in a football season. And so, I think we're at a much different place than we were a year ago as far as just understanding what's going on, what's coming. And but it doesn't change the fact that you got to go get ready to play. And when you're playing a team like Liberty to open up the conference play, you're going to have to play your best game.
All right. Coach, thanks very much. Time and good luck Saturdays, South Open.
Okay. Thanks, Mark.